All right, let's talk about something that's pretty much every homeowner's worst nightmare: water damage. Today, we're going to build you a practical playbook using insights from the pros to help you navigate the chaos if or when it happens to you.
Okay, picture this. You walk into your basement and your foot splashes into an inch of ice-cold water. Or maybe you look up and see a huge, terrifying stain spreading across your ceiling. That panic that sets in, it's real. And what you do in those next few moments and the next few hours is absolutely critical.
If there's one number you need to burn into your brain, it's this one: 24 to 48 hours. This is the single most important time frame in any water damage situation. It's the window that separates a manageable problem from a full-blown disaster. So, what makes this window so important?
Well, because it's not just about water. It's a race against a biological clock. See, once moisture soaks into materials like drywall, insulation, or the wood framing of your house, mold doesn't just start to grow. It establishes colonies. And once you pass that 48-hour mark, the problem gets exponentially worse and a whole lot more expensive to fix.
So let's start by digging into this ticking clock, because understanding this urgency is honestly the very first play in your new playbook. Next up, you've got to size up the enemy. Because here's something you might not know. In the world of water damage, not all water is created equal, not even close.
This is the very first thing any certified professional will do when they step on site. They have to figure out the water's contamination level. Is it from a clean supply line, or is it from a backed up sewer? The answer to that question dictates everything that comes next: the health risks, the safety gear they need, and the entire cleanup procedure.
The industry actually breaks this down into three pretty straightforward categories. You've got Category 1, which is clean water. Think of burst pipe or rainwater. It's low risk at first, but if you let it sit, it'll get nasty. Then there's Category 2, or gray water. This comes from your dishwasher or washing machine. It's already got some contaminants in it. But the one you really have to worry about is Category 3, black water. This stuff is seriously dangerous. We're talking sewage, floodwaters. It's just loaded with pathogens and requires a completely different level of response.
Okay, so we're on the clock and we know what kind of water we're fighting. Now for the core of our playbook, the professional, systematic process that takes a home from total chaos back to normal.
You know, professional restoration isn't just a chaotic cleanup. It's a disciplined, three-phase process. First is the emergency response to get all that standing water out. Second, and this is the big one, is the structural drying to handle all that hidden moisture. And third, you have the final restoration. Let's break each of those down.
Phase 1 is all about speed and data. The crew gets there, finds the source, and stops the bleeding. Then they bring out the tech, thermal cameras and moisture meters, to see exactly where all the water went, even behind walls and under your floors. They use these powerful truck-mounted extractors to suck up the visible water, and all the while, they're documenting everything for the insurance claim.
So getting the visible water out is actually the easy part. This phase, structural drying, this is the hard part, and it can take 3 to 5 days, sometimes even longer. Crews set up dozens of industrial air movers and dehumidifiers. But here's the key. They don't just set it and forget it. They come back daily to take moisture readings. They don't guess. They use data to adjust the equipment until the structure is verifiably dry. And they'll often apply an antimicrobial treatment to stop mold from ever starting.
And only when everything is confirmed to be bone dry, the final restoration phase begins. This is when the reconstruction crews come in to replace drywall, install new floors, paint, and handle all the finish work to make your property look like it did before the loss, or maybe even better.
All right, finally, let's cover the rules of the game. Knowing the process is great, but understanding the industry standards and how insurance works, that's what truly puts you in control of the situation.
If you remember one acronym today, make it IICRC. It stands for the institute that literally writes the rulebook for the restoration industry. Their S500 standard is the official guide. So when you hire a company that's IICRC certified, you know they aren't just winging it. They're following a scientific, proven process to make sure your home is dried correctly.
This quote really says it all. The difference between a professional and an amateur comes down to data. Pros use calibrated tools to prove a job is done right. This protects your property from that hidden moisture that can cause massive mold problems months or even years later.
This is a huge one, so it's critical to know what your insurance does and, more importantly, what it doesn't cover.
A standard policy covers sudden and accidental damage, like a burst pipe, but it almost never covers gradual damage, like a slow leak you ignored. And crucially, it usually excludes flooding from rising groundwater and sewage backups, unless you specifically purchase that extra coverage.
So let's recap the playbook. The key takeaways are simple, but they are so powerful. First, act fast. That 48-hour clock is real. Second, know the water you're dealing with, clean, gray, or black. Third, document absolutely everything with photos for your claim. Fourth, understand your insurance policy before you ever need it. And finally, trust the professional. 3-step process: assessment, drying, and restoration.
We'll end with this. A playbook is only useful if you know how to run the place. So, ask yourself, do you know where your main water shutoff is right now? Have you actually reviewed your insurance policy lately? Because having that knowledge beforehand is the best defense you have against chaos when the water starts rising.